Anybody who has gotten into Hinduism has probably heard about the three gunas and has worked with this idea of the three gunas at some stage in their spiritual journey. And working with the gunas is really cool because it's very general, it's very clear cut to the point, and it really gives a good scaffolding or like a foundation for you to put yourself on when you are trying to identify what kind of energetic state that you're in. Okay, we are always going to be fluctuating between these three main states. Sometimes we are going to be lazy, we are just not going to give a fuck about anything, we are just going to want to chill, we're going to have that cigarette, we're going to eat that pizza, we're going to drink that beer, we're going to smoke that joint, we're going to binge watch 6 hours of Netflix and 4 hours of PlayStation, and we're just going to enjoy, we're going to enjoy the garden of earthly delights, and that's tamas. And sometimes we want to get active with our lives, sometimes we want to get creative, we feel motivated to make something positive of our lives, to use our energetic qualities in order to create something and get shit done. And then at times we are going to want to be still, we are going to want to be quiet, we are going to want to be pure. We don't want to create, but we don't want to be idle either. We want to dedicate our energies to purification and stillness and finding peace and cultivating compassion. And for many, many people on the spiritual journey, especially those who work with gunas, their main goal is to cultivate a sattvic lifestyle, or to stop being tamasic, okay, and engage more with rajas and sattva, okay. We want to use power, we want to use the power of creation, we want to get shit done, but we also want to be purified, we want to be peaceful, we want to be conscientious, we want to be light-hearted, okay. For many, it is seen that the sattvic path is the most spiritual path, and the goal is to live a sattvic lifestyle. Now, as a human, as an entity having a human experience, right? My personal opinion, I feel that when we tilt too much to the light, when we tip that scale, it can cause very significant energetic imbalances in our lives. Sometimes people get too attached to the sattvic way of life, and then when something negative happens, they can't handle it. They go into this mode of escapism where they grab their crystals and they start chanting love and light, love and light. They may go into states of denial. They might even push away anything that brings down their vibe. And it's very, very easy to get attached to love and light. It's very easy to get attached to sattva and purity. And we need to be careful, because even an attachment to enlightenment and purity and the love and light can be negative. It can harm us. It can stop us from being free, because we are too trapped in the idea of thinking that we have to be pure. So, for me, I find that having a good, healthy balance of all three gunas and being able to internalize and navigate and use all three of these qualities, okay, the sattva, the rajas, and the tamas, having the ability to navigate all three of these qualities is really what gives us the full range of the human experience. The truth is that we do not live in a world of love and light, okay? We live in a world that is very much drenched at the moment in tamasic energy. There's a lot of negative energy in the world at the moment. So to constantly force yourself to live in the love and the light is a little bit naive, in my opinion. We are going to come into instances with tamasic energy. We are going to be facing the negative, and it's important that we learn how to sit in those uncomfortable situations. It's important that we learn how to deal with these dark, lazy, primal, carnal, tamasic energies. Like the Buddha said, do not be trapped by attachments and aversions. When you are too attached to something like love and light, it can be bad for you. And when you are too disgusted by something and you're constantly trying to push it away, like negativity, that can also be bad for you. The solution is to walk a middle path or a middle ground, or to have some kind of experience and some kind of ability to integrate and internalize both the positive and the negative qualities of reality and of life. So instead of trying to gun for this only sattvic lifestyle, I only want to be pure, I only want to do good, I only want to live in the love and the light, I think it's a little bit more practical and freeing for us to have a little bit of experience with all three of these qualities. Sometimes it's okay to eat that cheeseburger. Sometimes it's okay to have that cigarette. Sometimes it's okay to be a little bit hedonistic and, partake of the garden of earthly delights. Sometimes it's okay to give into our carnal pleasures, as long as we do not become attached to them, okay? It's okay to eat from the garden of earthly delights, as long as we do not become addicted to the sweets and the fruits and the pleasures. And I think that's the most important thing. And I think the same can be said for the sattvic lifestyle as well. It's very easy to get attached to these labels of being a pure spiritualist who only eats pure food and who only drinks this kind of water and, does X, Y, and Z per day in order to stay clean and pure. I think people can get very negatively attached to the labels of that kind of lifestyle. So, allow yourself as a human being to explore these three qualities. Allow yourself to be a little bit hedonistic, a little bit carnal, a little bit lazy, a little bit primal, and allow yourself to venture into the states of purity and self-cleansing, self-improvement, working on oneself. Explore all the different realms. Do not cut off any facet of the human experience because we think it's not clean. We want to be careful of that. Having that kind of mindset can really trap us. Many spiritual people become very spiritual and they develop what Ram Dass calls the golden chain of righteousness. I am doing everything right. I've done all the correct meditations. I'm on the correct diet. I must be an enlightened being and I am doing the right thing. And it's very easy to get caught in that. So be careful not to be caught by the golden chain of righteousness. Instead, we must try to take off all the chains. We mustn't be attached or, aversive to anything. We should completely open ourselves up to all experiences of the human incarnation. And a very powerful spiritual being would not denigrate one quality for the other. Instead, he would have a foot in each quality and learn how to master himself respectively in each quality. And I think that is a more admirable goal on the spiritual path, as opposed to just forcing oneself to stay sattvic and pure all the time. Okay, it doesn't work. Eventually, anger is going to creep in, lust is going to creep in, tamas is going to creep in, and if you don't have experience with it, and if you don't know how to deal with it, it can really fuck you up in some unforeseeable ways. So, yes, strive to be sattvic, okay? But be wise and train yourself to be tamasic as well. Train yourself to be rajasic. Train yourself to be masterful regardless of what quality you are existing in. And I have no doubt that if you can expand yourself into these three gunas and master each one respectively, you will find a lot more strength and a lot more freedom in your spiritual practice.